Hey, I get your thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Well, I figured a video response would probably be one of the best ways that I could explain a question that I had on Facebook. Now, the question related not only to what type of soil do I recommend, which, in case you needed to know, is SunGrow Sunshine Mix number 4. It's available at Lowe's and Home Depot. I think pretty much across the country. If not, they can bring it in for you. That's the number 1 soil that I would recommend. The number 2 thing that I would recommend is Jack's Classic Petunia Feed. It's a soluble powder. It's a fertilizer for the petunias. Exactly what they need to stay healthy. Now, number 3, and this is the question that we're addressing today, is what size container should I use to raise my firefly petunia? Now, I'm going to give you the caveat. It really depends on what you're looking for when it comes to how your firefly petunia is going to grow. Now, if you're going to keep it indoors under artificial lights, I'd say stick to a smaller container. If you're a little bit more ambitious and you want to propagate, so you'd go from like a 4-inch pot to for indoor lighting to a gallon if you're going to start doing some propagation or breeding work. But if you really want to see your firefly petunias thrive, put them in a much bigger container. So I've got a little demonstration set up, and all of the plants in this series here that I'm going to show you are just about the same age. They're within 3 weeks to a month of each other as far as when we started transferring them up. Okay, so these are plants that I've been working with for a while. The largest one is the oldest, and it may have a little bit more age to it, but really with the length of our summer, it shouldn't have affected the overall size that the plants can get really that much. So we're going to try to show you this one all on its own. So this is probably the most common size that I see people grow their firefly petunias in. This is a 4-inch square pot. It's a standard nursery container. If you ask for a 4-inch square, this is what you're going to get. Okay soil volume. It's great for early in the season. If you're doing indoor container growing, that's going to be okay. One of the problems with this is there's not enough soil volume to hold nutrients and water for our plants to grow. Size of the roots dictates size of the plant. So the bigger container we give it, the larger it's going to get within certain reason. And I will, when we get to the last container, I'll show you pretty much the maximum size you're going to need to consider for a firefly. But this is probably the introductory. And this is a plant that's grown all summer long in this pot. You can see it's fairly small. It doesn't have a good skirt to it. It's just kind of existing. Okay, and I'm trying to keep these all on about the same height so you get an idea. Okay, so there is indoor growing, or when the plant is young, 4-inch square container. Moving up inside, so if you're going to start growing outdoors or you're going to do some breeding work indoors, a gallon pot. Now this isn't like a physical US gallon. This is also called a number 1, but in the nursery industry, we call this a gallon pot. Weird measurement, but this is kind of standard for nursery work. You can kind of see, here, let's do some measurements here. So you can see that, got a little bit of a tape. So it's about 6.5 inches tall and about 6.5 inches across, and it's a circular pot. Okay, so this is pretty standard, and we've got a petunia that spreads about 18 inches by about 18 inches. So about an 18 by 18. And that is sitting up on a container like this. So actually it's like this. So it's got a gallon pot up above and a 4-inch pot down below. And that's how that, it's got a gallon pot up above and a 4-inch pot down below. And that's how that's sitting there. So you can kind of see that. And I've got the branches lifted up because they are cascading over the edge. So you get an idea of the size. This one we're going to have to get a little bit larger shot because this is a much larger plant. This is grown in, I guess it's a 12-inch, about a 12-inch by 12-inch pot. I have grown these in 16 by 16, but didn't really see a size difference between 12-inch by 12-inch. It doesn't give me it says a number 2, but I know that's not a standard number 2. So about 12 inches by 12 inches. Holds a decent soil volume. And with this is the size plant that we get with this. This is near the end of the season. We're going to lay this out here and look at the farthest branch to the farthest branch. you're looking at 39 inches. Okay, and it spreads just about the same in the opposite direction. And these plants, all three of them, are fairly close in age. So get all three of those in the shot. So they're all fairly close in age. You know, there may be month and a half difference in the ages of the plants, but they've all been through these size containers the entire summer, and you can see, you know, they haven't changed that much. You know, this one here is about 4 times as large as that one, but this one here is 4 times as large as that one. So when we put them in a container, we want to give them a big enough soil volume where that soil can hold the nutrients, it can hold the water, and it gives them room to grow. Now, firefly petunias are a fairly poor rooting plant, so a pot much bigger than this is not really necessary. This is as large as I would go on a container. If you have a Costco near you and you buy the Costco mums, this is the pot the Costco mums come in. So save those and plant your fireflies in them next year, but make sure you use Sunshine Mix number 4, fertilized with Jack's Classic. If you're in a really warm area, I find they do great with morning sun up to about 2 o'clock, and then they kind of go into the shade, and they're going to do fantastic. But in my area, we get 105, 110 degrees during the summer, and this was a really, really long, hot summer. So I'm definitely going to expand on this next season. We're going to start off with 3 firefly petunia plants. We're going to get the set of 3 plugs that they sell in the spring in the earliest date that they'll ship them to us here in North Idaho. And then I'm going to walk you through step by step as we raise up that firefly petunia, and I'm going to show you where to put it, how to care for it, what to do for it, so that you can get a plant that is absolutely fantastic by the end of the season. Because when it comes to growing firefly petunias, although some people are plenty happy to see the plant glow when it looks like this, I know a lot more of you would rather see your plant glow when it looks like this. So pay attention to my videos, go through the Firefly Care video series that I have, and take the opportunity to learn a little bit more about firefly petunias. So I hope this answers your questions about container size and your understanding that sometimes more is definitely better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope you consider membership or at least subscribing to the channel. As always, Ag Teacher Thoughts out.